I'm going to tell you a story that really happened to me in the war, in the days of the last Great War. Imagine it's pitch black outside.
It is pitch black outside.
Don't look over there, your father.
You don't have to imagine, Josie, it is pitch black outside.
Listen.
Just look outside.
But in the distance, as far as your eye can see, the whole sky is lit up with flashes of red. There's shells bursting in the sky.
From the guns.
And the not from the guns and big artillery guns and great big cannons. And it's pouring cats and dogs. I mean, it's really throwing it down. It's hammering down.
Spotty one down there.
Okay, right. Now, I have been sent by my officer back to the headquarters in a, what we used to call a brain gun carrier, to pick up ammunition and rations, food. And we went through a place called the Reichswald forest. And we had to go along a certain path to go between the trees, because otherwise you'd drive into a tree. So we had to go a certain way. There wasn't any way to go in a different direction. And the mud got thicker and thicker and thicker, till eventually the whole vehicle got stuck in the mud and we were stuck there. The rain pouring on us. It was late, we were starving, hungry, we were shivering with the cold, and it was miserable as anything. So the driver said to me, what are we going to do? So I said, you stay with the ammunition and the food and the mail, and I'll go, and if I can see if I can get some help to pull us out and get back to where we belong, to our troops, to our company. So I got out of the Bren gun carrier, and as I stood onto the ground, my feet sank into the mud right up to my knees. Fortunately, I had Wellington boots on, so it was a little help. So I started to trudge, literally, pull one leg out of the mud and go one step at a time forward. Anyway, I'd been walking for about 3 or 4 hours. It must be now about, I had to guess the time, it must have been about 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, how many steps?
How many steps? About 1,000 steps I'd gone. And I hadn't gone very far because I had to pull each leg out of the mud before I could go another pace. Anyway, it was very, all of a sudden it went very quiet, and the lights stopped and it was black. And then I thought I was going out of my mind because I thought I heard singing. So I'm looking to where the skylight was, where it was red, to see if I could see something. And as I'm stood there, I can hear this singing getting slightly louder and slightly louder. And I couldn't make it out. I couldn't understand. Who was it in their mind, the one in their right mind to be singing in the middle of a forest, pitch black, pouring down with rain? There was no radios. And then the shelling started again, and the light threw shadows down this long path through the forest. And in the distance, over the crest of a hill, I saw some soldiers coming towards me. Oh, and I got terrified, because I couldn't recognise the songs. They weren't English songs. I thought they were German songs. So I didn't know what to do. Well, they had these big trees on either side of this path. So I thought the best thing I can do is hide behind a big tree, hold my breath, they shouldn't hear me breathing, panting with breath and fright, and wait until they've gone past. Because if they'd seen me, and they were German soldiers, they'd capture me and take me as a prisoner of war. And then I'd have to be a prisoner of war until the end of the war, or they might even kill me. So I was really frightened. So I pulled one leg up out of the mud, and I got onto the bank where it was a bit dry, and I stood behind this tree. And as I'm stood behind the tree, I'm peering out from the side to see what I can see what they really are. Who are these people singing? And they're going like this. They're going, what's the French one? No, what's the German one? No. No, that's the American one. Wait a minute. I'll get a German one in a minute. Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil, Heil, Hitler, Sieg Heil, comes the Heil, Sieg Heil, Sieg. So anyway, that was on. So I'm getting coming closer and closer. So I'm stood there and I'm really holding my breath. They're almost on as far as that wall, and I can see. And all of a sudden, on either side, there was about 4 soldiers, and 4 behind, and 4 behind, and 4 behind, and 4 behind, and they're marching. And I can see little soldiers at either side of them, and they had an English type of Tommy steel helmet on. And when they came past me, I could see, and they were prisoners of war, and they were being marched back because they'd been captured.
Oh, the Germans were captured.
They were Germans that the English had captured as prisoners of war, and they were going back, and they were only, why were they singing? Because they were happy to get out of the war. And after that, I'd say, oh, thank God. But the funny thing is, they were marching hard because where they were was higher on the ground, and the rain hadn't made it muddy. And then when they got down to the mud where I was, they went splashing about it all. I hope, it's off to war we'll go. I hope, I hope.